All right. So good day, everyone. So today, we'll be going to explore one of the most important techniques in map visualization. So for today, we'll be able to discuss the classifying vector data, especially on mga those labels on how to visual it clearly. All right. So when we classify vector, so we are not only displaying shapes on the map. So we are organizing information so that the maps become easier to understand and also analyze and present it. Okay, so by the end of these lessons, so you should be able to understand how to view attributes data. So this already discussed in our previous discussions, but we will going to go through on that again. And then at the end of this lessons you will be able to understand the label features, customize label appearance, and even replace symbols with label of if necessary. So this is essential when making a map to be a readable and also a precise or presentable map in QGIS. All right. So the for the purpose, moving on to the purpose. So why do we need to classify vector data, or why do we need to understand on how to classify any of data? Okay? So the purpose is very simple. Y- Yun na nga, to visual organize information, a map full of the random points and shapes is hard to analyze, but when you classify it properly, information becomes clearer and more meaningful. So for example, inside in zoo, so we'll be coverage on creating a map in our practical demo later on. So we'll be focusing only to the map of zoo. Okay, so we can classify buildings by the types of the buildings, like the academic, dormitory, and administration, or we call it the admin in zoo, and also of the sport facilities. So you didn't even need to open attributes table to interpret the maps. Okay? Alright, so for the attributes data, so na-discuss na ini for the previous discussion. So very important to know this, especially this attributes data, to be able to come up to to know or to see the information about each features, name types, area, population. Okay? Kasi we are going to display it based on the availability of data like names. Okay? So usually the level na display natin is yung names talaga ng ng vector data. Okay? So every vector features, whether ito points, lines, or any polygons, it carries information called attributes. Okay? So these are the characteristics such as the names of the buildings, road length, and even the land areas or the boundaries or the population. Okay, so to view the attributes in QGIS, all you have to do is right click the layer, then click open attributes table. So the same process from the previous discussions that we gathered. Okay, so open the QGIS. After you're opening the QGIS, open the Indie project, then load the shape file. Okay, click, then drag it into the canvas of the QGIS. Then to open the attributes, or to open the data or the characteristics of this attributes, kasi we cannot visualize this instantly on what is this type of the attributes. So as you can see, if we are not from in ISU, so you are not familiarized this visualization maps or this data vectors. Okay, so to know this of what kind of this data, so we'll need to see the information or the characteristic of the attributes. So to do this, the step-by-step process, okay, going back to the attributes data of our presenters in PPT, load the shape files, then drag and drop, okay, right click, then example is a building, yeah. Then open the attributes, you will now see the tables. So to do that, select the layer panels. As you can see, this is selected of my layers that I drop it into the QGIS canvas. Right click, and then what you need to do is navigate the open attributes, or you need to click this this toolbox here in the below of the menu bar in our QGIS interface. Yan. Then as you can see, this is our the interface of our attributes data. So you can now see the characteristics of the building. Yeah. And so as you can see, so we have here the attributes data, ID, column ID, build name column, and department and area. So meaning to say, this is a, map of ISU campus, main campus. Yan. Kasi as you can see, this characteristics is the buildings of ISU campus. So we have the College of Law, ISU Library, Pag-asa, Baunon, Guardhouse, Edu School, and so on and so forth of mga buildings. Yan. So by the using of this, we can visualize this data, and then we can display it into our we can display it on the surface of our vector data. Okay? So let's go back to our discussion. So yan, so napakita ko na ni yung natin, yung mga options ng discuss ko na ito sa previous discussion natin on what kind of data inside of our uh, attributes data, and how to edit, how to add new attributes, and how to deselect and delete. So this is the properties of attributes. Okay, so again, so what you're going to do to open the attributes, so select the layer, select the uh, select the layer and right click, then navigate the open attributes, or you can click this toolbar below of our menu bars in QGIS in our interface. Yeah, then you will uh, directly to the attributes tables. Okay, let's go back to our discussions. So I'm moving on to the level of tools. So now, once we have the attributes, so we can display them directly in the top map using the level tools. So levels make features identifiable without opening tables. Kasi now uh, uh, we are we are now already see the information of characteristic of this layer. Okay. So to enable the levels, or to be able to show them in our uh, or display them in our map, or to identify what kind of this building in ISO map, so we now use the label tool. Okay, so this is the step by step process how to enable the labels. So number one, right click the layers again. So same process of the attributes, but different different procedure na. So you can now select the properties instead of open attributes, kasi we are now getting to the or display the label or the text inside the attributes. So what we're going to do, so we want to display this building name, kasi we want to identify this, or to know or to say so that we can identifiable, it cannot be, it can be identifiable the of our map. Okay? So, ito yung display natin sa map natin. Okay? Then, the next thing we need to do, right-click, properties, then go to levels. So, meron na lalabas dito sa side panels ng levels. Then, enable single level. Then, select single levels. Then, choose an attributes to display. What kind of characteristic you want to display on the map. Okay? Then, apply OK. Yan. So, as you can see, we have an example here. So, we want to display the level buildings of with name. So, yun na nga. Ito yung i-display natin. So, this will be outcome or the output. So, ma-identify natin yung mga buildings natin. Like this ICT building, admin, or what kind of buildings or the inside of our attributes characteristic table. Okay? So, to do that, yun nga, select the properties. Then, it will show us the layer properties. Then, select levels. Then, select the single levels. Yan. Now, so, oops. So this is the properties of our levels, but as you can see, it not already show up the building name. So to do that, so as you can see, this enable the single level, but we will need to select what kind of attributes or the column table inside our ano to be able to show the characteristic of our this vector. So select the build name, then apply, then okay. And as you can see, lumabas na yung mga names ng ating building. So, yun na nga. So, by the purpose of level tool is to be identifiable and to be able visualize at to know or to know what kind of this vector data or what is this map. Okay? Eh, alright. So, same thing process gyapon nitan. So, we have aside based on our presentation process, we can also uh, instantly direct to the level properties by using the view layer, or we can display it in our this right side like before. Meron ditong naka-display ng mga properties ng ating ng layer. So to do that, to view that, select the view menu, then select the panels, then navigate the layer styling or check it. And as you can see, you can now select the level, then you can on, off, or no levels. Yan. Right? So, same process. Select the ABC, or as you can see this one, or you can select this direct so that you can direct it to the level options. Then select the single level, then apply OK. Then automatically it will show the names of the buildings inside the Isuming campus. Yan. So, right. So, moving to next slide. So, we have the changing level options. So, the purpose is customize the appearance of labels. So we can improve the look of labels. A label should be readable and not conflict with the other features. That's why QGIS allow us to change the font size, even the colors, and font style or the size of the text, or add text outlines, or we can also add the stroke, or we call it the popper. So pamili kayo ng ng stroke ng text. Okay? So we can add them directly to the to the levels. Okay, so we have here the analogy. So as you can see, this is the properties, but let me give you something of overview of this changing level options. So imagine or think of it like a designing. Yeah. So the more readable the labels, or the more precise or the more design of your font styles and size and readable, so the more user-friendly your map becomes. Okay? So meaning, mas naiintindihan lalo or mas napapadali yung pag pagbi-visualize ng isang mapa kung yung mga star properties ng ating label are very precise or very readable, like yung fonts natin and yung size natin and yung color natin. So let's say we have the boundaries or the main layer is have a dark color, then we should the font color to be lighted to be able to highlight the text or readable. Okay, to be able that or uh, the visibility are readable. All right, or we call it the precise or accurate. Okay, so yun na nga, by doing a good formatting, separate the beginner map to a professional map. Okay, so as you can see, this is our level. So let's now to provide a practical demo of changing level options. And so as you can see, our discussion today is we only focusing on the level or the data vector. Kasi we already done to discuss this styling and creating of these layers and how to do it from the scratch. Okay, so this is an additional to be able na uh, uh, additional tools so that we can gate or create or develop a map in easier way. Okay? So changing by the level option, so we can change is this three option, the font style and size and color, and then we can also add a buffer. You know the buffer, like a stroke. Okay. Okay. So to do that, as you can see, we already heard the properties of the the level options of our levels of our layer. So next we need to do, we can we can change the font style. As you can see, the default of our QGIS font style is Open Sans. Okay? By clicking this option or the drop down, you can see the other option or scroll down. So we have here a lot of uh, font style. Okay? But the most I use or the most ano uh, the most what is this? The most aesthetic the font style that I use is the Gandhara. Okay? Then, I'm going to bold it. As you can see, nag-bold na siya. Then, palaki natin yung size niya. Kasi nga, we are going to demonstrate the changing options level. Yeah. Na-apply okay, then it will going to save it. Walang name lang dito, no? So, meaning walang name ito. Okay? By zooming it, then now, okay, so now, so like what I said earlier, we can add a buffer style here. So to do that, scroll down the properties of the level options. Select this one. Then yan. So na parang naka bold naka ano siya, naka menu bar siya. Then select the buffers. I think this one masking. Yan, so buffer. So lagyan natin ng ng parang stroke or we call this a buffer. If I check this, then automatically the default settings of the buffer, so as you can see this it has a size of 1 millimeter size and color is white, then it will have a buffer, so like stroke. Do you know the stroke style? Parang background color siya but naka-stroke siya sa sa text. We can change this by the opacity and trans and okay, or we can Also change the buffer settings or the background style. Yeah, diba? As you can see, black yung main color niya, but yung background color or the buffer is naging green. But to be precise and to be static, we're going to use the only the white color. Okay? Then yun na nga, so as you can see, napo-point lang yung yung mga level natin sa direct ng Victor natin or Victor data natin. So mayroon pang option so pwede kayo mag-explore dito. Like lagyan natin ng you call that say dito like ito yung call outs. Lagyan natin call outs. Yung mga text display natin kung saan gusto natin i-display yung label natin. So gamit tayo ng oops. Like this one. Lagyan natin ng line yung natin. This one. Okay. Then, lagyan natin ng text natin. Ilagay natin dito sa bandang itas tong Canacton Hall. Move natin. Then, we can name. Ayan. Diba? Naging precise para di sa matakloban. Di siya mag-overlap. Okay? But sa next lesson, I-discuss ko na how to do this. Kasi meron siyang mga properties na ginagamit. Okay? Alright. So, moving to our next slide. Using, na ba ni? Next slide. So, using label instead of symbology. So, there are times when symbols can be removed and label alone are enough, especially when you want a clearer layout. Imagine mapping all buildings in a zoo and instead of shapes and icons, um, cluttering the map, we can simply label them with their names. Okay? Do not this To do this, do not on the symbology or choose no symbols, then turn on level or simply clean the perfect for the printing layout. So what I need to do, so yung symbols natin, tanggalin natin yung itong mga vector data natin para yung label na yung ma-display. Okay? But ganyan, so this is an optional. So nasa perspective niyo yan, ano yung gusto niyo. So if we have this one, maglagay tayo ng base map regarding this map hybrid. Parang ganyan. Kung gusto niyo nang mag-screenshot or mag-direct ng or kung nagpo-print lang kayo ng layer, you can, necessary niya gumamit ng ng mga layer. Kasi para maging precise lang. Kasi depende sa sa option, natin, kung if we do not need the vector data, we can display it already as a label. Okay? Yan, ganyan lang. So, kasi meron ng call out. Diba? Na ganyan lang. Mga buildings, pero parang hindi precise yung sa inyo, yung buffer niya. Lagyan natin ng and then lagay natin ng red. Yan. Di kayo yellow. I think yan. Diba? Parang ganyan. So, depende pa rin sa inyo kung ano yung gusto nyo or perspective niyo. Okay? Pero yung kalabasan niya, ganito. Yan. Diba? Pero kung gusto niyo yung ganyan. Okay? So, yun na nga, how to do that. Again, sometimes level provide better clarity than symbology, especially for identifying the features. How to use, turn off the symbology. Again, put the symbology, this one. Then no symbols, then only labels that are enabled. Okay. Moving into the labeling lines now. Levels are not just for buildings, but we can level line features like roads or boundaries and rivers in QGIS. So we can even make the text follow the curve of the road's way looks more natural and realistic. So meaning to say, if we have a roads and then 'di ba yung roads natin is meron mang mga curve or curve na roads. So from that area, so we can identify it on what these purok roads, so we put them a labels. To be able kasi the roads are napa-curve or na-kurbada, to display on that, we going to uh, change the placement into a curve or parallel. To be able, yung text ng level natin is mag-curve siya automatically. Alright. So to do that, and para maging realistic nga, sabi ko pa kanina. Okay, so to do that, follow this step-by-step process. Right-click the layer properties, select label enable. If you already add or drop the vector data of road or lines, yan. Then select the labels enable. Then under the placement, choose the curve or parallel. Nandiyan pa rin yan sa level ng properties. Okay, so this is important because it is street text or a cruise, a curve road looks awkward, di ba? Naging awkward siya kasi based on kahit yung yung roads natin is napa-curve, then yung level natin is straight pa rin. So naging awkward siya, nagiging weird kasi hindi siya realistic eh. Okay? So by doing that, we're going to placement it to specific the text or the line, curve or parallel, to make the map or more accurate or visual. Okay, so to do that, so what we need to do, mag-add muna tayo ng layer kasi I have already assets, this one. So I discussed this already to the previous discussion that we gathered. Let me X all these attributes. Yan, so as you can see, yan, hindi pa siya nabivisualize. Dapat yung basement namin, nasa lagay ito sa baba. Okay? Yan. Tanggalan lang natin yung yung latest. Then, yung symbology lang yung ilagay natin. Okay. Yan. So, this is the roads. As you can see, merong lines natin dito. So, what we need to do, change muna natin yung symbology na by doing this size. Palagay natin yung size niya, yung properties. And then, gawin natin yung properties ng line is to dash line. Hindi natin dapat, sulit. Yeah. Alright. So, I think this is alright na. Okay. So, again, to check or to say the information or the characteristics of this road, kung saan ba yung banda ng mga roads or the area are located. Same process, go to right-click the layer, then select the open attributes table. Then, as you can see, we have only 2 columns attributes. Then, there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 characteristic of this routes. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to display this in our map, these names of the routes. Okay, so the same process, go to properties, then select the label or di kaya select nyo lang yung dito. So, di ba kasi gin-enable natin yung view layer dito sa panel. Yan, check nyo lang yan or di kaya select nyo yung ito. Automatic, madirect na kami sa level. Labas natin single level, then the name. Yan. Then sabi ko kanina, i-curve natin. So, as you can see, nagiging awkward siya dito. Yan, hindi siya na-curve, di ba? Nakaparallel yan. Like this one. So, wala tayong curve dito. Yan, dito, nakaparallel yan. So, go to placement. Ito, placement. O, nakaparallel na siya. But to be precise, gawin natin curve. Alright. If we move this one, Yan. Just follow this one. Yan, residential road. I-just natin yung view. Yan. So you can see, nag-adjust yun ng ng curve. So nagiging realistic talaga siya dito. Okay? Unlike yung parallel na-adjust siya pero naka-straight line siya dito, hindi katulad kanina ng curve dito. Okay? Kasi yung mode of placement natin is naka-curve dito sa may properties ng level. Okay, so if we move the view of yan, so it will follow. So as you can see, hindi na siya awkward, hindi siya weird, nagiging realistic talaga yan for map visualization. Okay? Yan, di ba? Yan, di ba? Yan, nag-adjust siya. Yan, parang yan. Ma-adjust yung residential road dito. Tingnan nyo dito. If I adjust yan. Yan, di ba? Adjust siya. Okay? Gets? Alright. So lang naman, very important nga dapat meron tayong ganyan. Next slide, we are going to tackle the merging all layers. So this is the last discussion. I think we have only 3 slides already, the conclusion and the importance of creating map. So aside of merging all layers, so I already discussed in our previous discussion that in terms of geopressing tools, di ba? So by the use of geopressing tools, that's the additional tools that we can use in creating a map, especially in clipping. So what the functions of clipping? So we can identify on from the multiple layer, but depends on the input and output or who has the overlapping areas on other side of our layer. Then we can identify the intersection of the ellipse. Aside of the merging, we have also the the union and the dissolve. So the function of those two is uh, uh, we provided the using of the geopressing, the dissolve and union to to merging it all or to make a unified layer. So by the use of the union, nagkakaroon tayo ng merging ng mga layer into multiple layer, pero yung mga properties niya o yung characteristic ng attributes natin, hindi sila na-unify, na-insert lang siya. Okay? Unlike yung dissolve, na gagawa talaga tayo, yung naging outcome talaga niya is nagiging unified talaga yung multiple layer into one layer. And also the attributes table, nagiging unified din siya. So, nagiging isa. So, in let's say yung isang layer na i-dissolve natin, so meron siyang characteristic na at least 200 rows na data, attributes, then multiple column. Then kapag i-unified natin using the geopressing tools of dissolve into multiple layer, ma-dissolve yan, merge yan, then gagawa sila ng isang unified na layer. Parang yung But on the other side, I'm going to show you on how to merging all layers, combine multiple shape into one, but not changing their specific characteristic or the attributes. Magiging unified lang or magiging combine lang yung mga layer, but not the attributes or the characteristic. Okay? So ito step by step process. Magamit tayo ng toolbox from the processing. This also included the zero processing, but this is different. Okay, then isa-search natin yung merge vector layer. Then select all you want to combine. So i-check lang natin yun mamaya. Then save output, then it will be merge all data by not combining by not combining also the attributes. Okay? So to merge, go to the processing. So yan. But using this toolbox or the merge layer, what's the merge vector layer, dapat yung i-merge niyo same na geometric polygons, geometric type. So it is kung yung i-merge nyo is lahat polygons, dapat polygons lahat kasi hindi yan mag-error yan kapag i-merge nyo yung roads at saka polygons. Dapat hindi. Dapat parehas yung geometric type. Dapat polygons lahat i-merge. So let's say, pakita ko sa inyo kung how to do it. Let me X this one. So, unahin natin yung error, yung mali na na process na i-merge natin into a different geometry. So, yun na nga, go to processing menu dito sa menu bar. Yan, as you can see. Then select the toolbox. Then as you can see, this is our search. So as you can see, this is a step-by-step process. Then what you need to do, copy paste this one. Then search this one. Then automatically, it will show this one. Okay, then select this one. Then same thing process gyapon of the geoprocessing tools. We have already the input layer. So what you need to do, so kapag i-check ko yung mga buildings, as you can see, yung buildings is yung ginamit nating geometric type is polygons dito. Then yung issue roads is lines man eh. If we merge it, so magkakaroon tayo ng error. So as you can see, this error, taking destination CRS, setting output types of multiple polygons, all layer must have same geometric type, encountered a line layer when expecting polygons layer. Alright, so yun na nga, bawal. So what you need to do para makapag-process kita ng or makapag-purge kita, so I have already a vector asset here from the ISO campus map. So what you need to do, so yung boundary i-merge natin, lakay ko dito, or di kaya isama natin yung sport area at saka yung mga lake. Diba? Ito. O di ba yung lake, fish pan dito. Then sports area, yung mga basketball area, yung oval. Yan. So as you can see, we have already multiple layer here but different layer but same polygon. So let me order list of this one. Pwede natin ilagay itong layer to boundaries into side 1. Yan. Yung roots is hindi na highlights. Gawin natin tong into read. So this is a process only. Okay. So let me show the levels of this all levels. Ay, yung inad ko lang, yung spread area. Pakita ko lang yung mga level niya para ma-identify ko ano yung level. So, hindi na tayo open ng attributes kasi matatagalan tayo. Yan, so meron tayong basketball court, volleyball court, and oval. Then yung lake naman, yung face pan ng iso, lagay natin yan dito sa side. Okay? Then the rest is change natin yung building into color niya to blue para hindi sila mag-conflict. Okay. So iba-iba yung mga layer to. So we have the boundaries of isu, then we have the buildings, and we have the fish pond and the sport area. So what we need to do, I'll be demonstrating the merge vector layer and how to do it. So to merge this is go to processing menu, then select the toolbox. Let me exit this one. Toolbox. And then paste the merge vector layer or search it to merge. Ayan. It will automatically shows the merge vector layer. Then select it. Then the input, select this one. But before we think, select the CRS to build the curvature of the earth. Then select, then you want to combine. Where is sport area, roots, not roots, line yan, lake, building and boundaries. And if you run this, as you can see, this is our layer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 lang layer, but including the areas, if you check this one. Diba? This one. Yan. So, magkakaroon tayo ng output na merge. Ayan, di ba? Yan. But, to see the characteristic of this, naliwat ba? The same thing, yung dissolved processing. As you can see, hindi sila nag-unified. Nag-add sila ng additional na layer based on the different, nag-add sila ng another column or attributes based on the other layers. Nalagay nga nila yung size eh, pati yung tawag nito, yung coordinates. Alright, so that's all for today. So next slide. So yun na nga, conclusion, classifying vector data help improve map readability by attaching information directly to features using attributes data and labels. Adjusting levels, style, and using them effective can make map more important and easier to interpret. Always remember, labels make features identifiable. So yun yung purpose. Attributes make features meaningful to be able maging accurate and maging meaningful and to understand clearly or maging user-friendly yung map natin. Okay? And then, classification make map understandable. Okay? So, that's all for today. So, let's call it a day. The session is adjourned. Thank you.